what's up? It's Sunshine here and welcome to my kitchen. I wanted to go over one of the most important parts of any sort of transformation program, and that is food. So you eat a lot, whether you're trying to put on muscle or whether you're trying to lose fat. Even if you're trying to maintain, you're going to be eating a significant amount, and it can get tiring to eat the same meal over and over again. Chicken and rice is one of those meals that I know you all have had, unless you're vegetarian or vegan, but you've had it time and time again, and it's usually the same thing: chicken, rice, maybe some broccoli. So I wanted to go over a few different ways you can spice up your chicken and rice meal and make it seem as if it's something you haven't had before. So let's dive in and take a look at all these different options we have in store. Now here's my plate. I have chicken, I have brown rice, I have broccoli. You've seen this 1,000 times and it is quite a staple in the fitness scene. However, I have all these other ingredients around me to show you how you can take this to the next level. Now I'm gonna start with my chicken. Now the chicken is something you can make in the frying pan with a little bit of light oil. You can bake it in the oven. You can put it in the grill. Or on the grill, I guess. And that's one of my favorite ways to make chicken. Now, chicken by itself, if you don't do anything to it, if you don't put any salt, you obviously know what it tastes like. It tastes like chicken. But there are tons of different marinades, and I'm gonna have those listed below. So make sure to check out a few different options you can do to marinate your chicken. I primarily, though, wanna show you all the different options you have for your vegetables and your carbohydrate source. So let's start with the carbohydrate source. First of all, got the rice. Everyone knows how to boil some rice. But did you know that if you added some spices to your rice, whether it's a little bit of cumin, paprika, garlic powder, pepper, you can really enhance that flavor and take it to a new level. I also have a bunch of different herbs here. I have some dill, parsley, chives, cilantro, oregano, and 3 different types of basils. Genovese basil, this is holy basil, and this is a purple basil. Now, these are all things that are available to you, or could be primarily available to you, depending on where you live in the world, and are pretty common spices to use. You could get them dried, or you could have them fresh. You sprinkle any of those on your rice or on your carb source, and that is going to change it up completely. Now, one of the other things you can do is swap out that rice for lentils. Whether they're French lentils or just plain yellow lentils, there are so many different types of lentils you can use, and that's going to also help change that flavor profile of the chicken and now lentils. And of course, you add any of these spices to it, whether it's like a condiment or an herb, you can make that happen. I also have couscous. So couscous is really fun, and you see that in a lot of like Mediterranean and Middle Eastern foods, but if you want to really change it up, you can add couscous for your carb source instead of rice. And then we have quinoa. So quinoa is really awesome. It does have a little bit of protein in it, so that's going to be an added plus, but obviously that's not going to be your protein source. It's still your carb, so count it as your carb unless you're vegetarian or vegan. Now, when it comes to the carbs, everybody knows the sweet potato, but did you know there's a purple sweet potato? Like, that's one of the things I love doing when I go to a farmer's market or any sort of store, is figuring out what other type of potato do they have. And I found that I really do love the purple sweet potato. And the purple sweet potato is higher in antioxidants because of its color, and it's a way to really like add color and just, again, change up your meal from the same boring old chicken and rice scenario. Cool, so that's kind of the main bit for carb sources. Now, one of the things I love doing is adding different types of onion to my meal. So that's what's gonna jazz up everything. Now you can add these different onions to your carb sources. You can saute it before you put in your carb source or after, or you can cook it with your vegetables. So there are a few different ways that you can prepare your vegetables that can really spice it up, and I'll go over that just right now. Now, broccoli is kind of the popular vegetable in the fitness scene, like just plain old broccoli. However, broccoli tastes amazing if you saute it with a little bit of garlic or green onion, or I even like the sweet onion. So you can totally change up that taste by just adding another vegetable to it. However, if you're like, I'm sick of broccoli, give me another vegetable. Well, I have another combination for you that's really going to change it up, and it will go great with the cilantro lime marinade for this chicken. So make sure to check that out below. I have here a red onion, or tomato. I have here a tomato, and I have a tomatillo. So if you haven't had a tomatillo, it's really nice. It is in the tomato family, and it's a little bit on the tart side. And I love the pairing of the tomato, the tomatillo, red cabbage, cilantro, and red onion. You cut these up and create a little bit of a salad, put a little bit of apple cider vinegar over it with your cilantro lime chicken, and it's going to taste amazing. I didn't even need a carb source for this. So that's another way you can really like change up the whole broccoli game. Add some new vegetables in the mix and combine them together with an herb. Let me put that right back. Next is zucchini. So zucchini is awesome because you can eat it raw or cooked. So it depends on how much time you have. And it tastes really nice. It's not overly pungent of any type of flavor, and it will take on the flavor that you pair it with. So one of the things I love doing is pairing zucchini with garlic and Genovese basil. This is like one of my favorite combinations, and you just saute that up. It could be fresh. This could be fresh or sauteed, and it will taste absolutely amazing. So I'd recommend that if you want to spice that one up. The next combo that seems maybe a little bit obscure, maybe you haven't tried this before for a vegetable, but it's going to be red cabbage with some shiitake mushrooms. So this is really awesome. I haven't seen this, but my mom's Turkish friend showed me this recipe and I fell in love with it. And this goes great with parsley, goes great with chives. And then obviously I would add in some onion. I freaking love onion. It just makes everything taste so much better. So I would do a green onion, some red cabbage, shiitake mushrooms, and parsley there. So we also have corn. So depending on what program you're following, if you're on a super strict fat loss program, I wouldn't recommend corn as your fiber source. However, if you're on muscle building programs, corn's awesome. It's delicious. You have it obviously in a moderate amount, but this one is great if you put it on the grill. It tastes good on its own. So that could be a simple way to replace that broccoli source if you're looking for something different. Next is the beet. So I love golden beets. I cut it open for you so you could kind of take a look at it and see what it's like in the middle. But there's of course the red beet. You're familiar with the red beet. And the beet is great because you can eat this raw or cooked. It's high in iron. So that's something that is really exciting because it is a great source for iron. And this goes great with sweet onion, green onion. It goes great with garlic. It goes great. It's great on its own. Like you could literally just cut this up and mix in any of these spices and it would be amazing. It has a really nice taste to it. So that's something that you can use too in place of your garlic. All right, so yeah. The beet. Don't be afraid of stepping outside of your comfort zone. When you're going to the market or you're going to the grocery store, try to find a vegetable you've never used before and figure out what it tastes like. Maybe you don't like it, roasted. Maybe you like it grilled. Maybe you like it raw. But this is a way to really just get yourself out of this rut and make healthy eating fun again. Just think of a better way to say that. Next I have the carrot. So again, the carrot is a wonderful vegetable, but if you're on a fat loss program, I would stay away from the carrot because it tends to have a higher sugar content than other vegetables. It's not that bad, but just if you're really trying to be strict, I would just take the carrot out. But the carrot is honestly fantastic with everything. You could pair it with the zucchini. You can, if you really love broccoli, you can bring the broccoli back in and create some sort of veggie hash. You could have excuse me, what is this called? Cabbage. You can have the cabbage, the beet. You can have a really nice medley of vegetables and add in the carrot. You could also have the carrot on its own. The carrot is amazing roasted, and you could pair it with dill, you could pair it with parsley, you could pair it with absolutely anything. Haven't personally tried it with basil, but it might not be too bad. So there's that guy. And then we have the pepper. So there are a bunch of different colors. There's the bell pepper comes in green, orange, yellow, red. Depends, I guess, what your budget accounts for. The green's going to be the most economic. But the pepper is great raw, roasted, sauteed, you name it. The pepper is amazing. If you really want to bring out its flavor, I would roast it. And I think that makes a really nice change up, because when it comes to vegetables, sometimes like you're sick of eating them raw, maybe you're sick of eating them cooked. Just try a new way to eat the vegetable. And this also goes really good with any of these, whether it's garlic, green onion, sweet onion, red onion, you name it. You can totally make yourself a feast with just the pepper. But I like mixing the pepper up with a lot of different vegetables, whether that's corn, mushrooms, tomato, tomatillo, and you know what? Like sometimes, I like mixing in my different herbs as well, and like having like an herb party where I have like dill and parsley and cilantro, and just like make a big medley of flavors. And of course, you have the spices that I've listed down below that you could interchange with. So, in saying this, like you have so many options to choose from when it comes to eating a healthy meal. Don't get confined to this chicken and rice box where you're only eating a certain kind of food every day, day in and day out. Change it up. Get experimental. Grow your own little herb garden. Like I actually picked these from our garden outside, but if you live in an apartment, for example, you can have like a little pot that you keep somewhere by a window, and you can grow some herbs. They're the easiest thing to grow, believe me. I would know that because I've killed a lot of plants. But yeah, there's tons to do here. So I hope this video has helped you. I hope it's inspired you to come up with new creative ideas in the kitchen. And as always, wishing you the best on this fitness journey.